spirit of this and that incident that just happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't take that lightly, black man.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly.
That's right.
That brotherhood is going to stretch and uplift our people all the way to the goddamn kingdom.
That's right.
And we see the spirit of this and that incident that just happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't take that lightly, black man.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly.
That's right.
That brotherhood is going to stretch and uplift our people all the way to the goddamn kingdom.
That's right.
And we see the spirit of this and that incident that just happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't take that lightly, black man.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly.
That's right.
That brotherhood is going to stretch and uplift our people all the way to the goddamn kingdom.
That's right.
And we see the spirit of this and that incident that just happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't take that lightly, black man.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly.
That's right.
That brotherhood is going to stretch and uplift our people all the way to the goddamn kingdom.
That's right.
And we see the spirit of this and that incident that just happened in Montgomery, Alabama. Don't take that lightly, black man.
That's right.
Don't take that lightly.
That's right.
That brotherhood is going to stretch and uplift our people all the way to the goddamn kingdom.
That's right.
And we see the spirit of Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right. Right.
Our oppressors celebrate the death of our brothers and sisters. We can at least celebrate one of them getting hit over the head with a goddamn chain.
Right. Right.
Thanksgiving is a whole goddamn national holiday.
Right.
You damn right we should make a celebrity out of Aquaman. Scuba.
Listen, what the Christ did not get beaten and stabbed and punched and tortured and had a crown of thorns placed upon his head for an African, for a white man, for an Asian or an Arab. Are you kidding me? Christ suffered for his people. No one else. Christ did not get beaten and stabbed and punched and tortured and had a crown of thorns placed upon his head for an African, for a white man.
If you've ever visited Attica Correctional Facility in West New York, and you are from New York City, upon entering the facility, you would have immediately realized that the oppressors greeting you in intake are not the oppressors downtown on West 4th Street smoking weed and playing hacky sack in Washington Square Park. This is a completely different breed of oppressors out in Attica Correctional Facility in West New York. These are not the in a prison like Attica or Clinton. Let's say you escape. Like the townspeople are going to deputize themselves. Soccer mom is going to deputize the goddamn minivan and go out and look for you. Now, I mean, it's this town cannot survive without this prison. All of these people working in this prison got state checks coming in with pensions and all that. That's money that they use to sustain the town, man. When the prison is gone, the town is gone. If you don't go out there, black man, and sell that nickel bag of crack, then towns like Attica can't continue to thrive and live and be happy and have their high school football games, Friday night lights. They can't live their happy semi-suburban life unless you go out there and sell crack.
So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native American Indians, we the only friends we got.
Right.
We the only friends we got. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native American Indians, we the only friends we got.
Right.
We the only friends we got. So-called blacks, we know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend? We know the history of this country. How come we wearing our slave master name on our IDs? Is that our friend?
Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friend.
Wait. What it says? It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed to a friend.
Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friend.
Wait. What it says? It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed to a friend.
Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friend.
Wait. What it says? It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed to a friend.
Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friend.
Wait. What it says? It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed to a friend.
Separate thyself from thy enemies and take heed of thy friend.
Wait. What it says? It says, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed to a friend.
Separate thyself from thy enemies.
It disgusts me when I hear someone from another nation talk about black on black crime. You understand? Bring up what goes on with MS-13. Bring up what goes on with Mexican cartels. Like, oh, you understand? When they turn around and talk about our people, man, mind your goddamn business. That's internal affairs.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with you. You understand? Because you want to talk about violence at a concert. You name me a more dead. Even the stats. It disgusts me when I hear someone from another nation talk about black on black crime. You understand? Bring up what goes on with MS-13. Bring up what goes on with Mexican cartels. Like, oh, you understand? When they turn around and talk about our people, man, mind your goddamn business. That's internal affairs. More dead than what happened at that country western. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses. And meanwhile, it's some Nigerian who came over here with a business loan. Even the stats today that's boosted, they get boosted a lot of times by Hamites. They come over and like they're counting a lot of, Hamitic businesses as black businesses.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear.
Mic check 1 2.
Let me get a 1 in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear.
Mic check 1 2. Right now he's on Shamar. We got about 4 or 5 people.
Medic business.
Christ did not come for no one except for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. If you're not part of the house of Israel, Christ did not come for you. Christ did not come for no.
We're going to start in a couple of minutes. Give me a second. Look, come on, I need you to read for me real quick, all right? I just need you to read for me real quick, all right? You got a scripture here. Just get about real quick. Yo, hard. Just check that drink real quick. Right, don't sweat it. All right, real quick. I'm Priest Novus of 5,000, Shalai Yala. Of course, you already know I represent the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday is designated to the Brotherhood class. So today we're going to go over some Brotherhood scriptures, talk about some characteristics and attributes that we need to obtain brotherhood. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you how important brotherhood is. First, I want to say brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. All right. So if you look in our communities, you'll see that we lack brotherhood and we lack sisterhood. How do we know that? You have parents throwing their children out the windows. You have brothers sleeping with their brother's wife. You have gang violence. You have drugs. You have a lot of things going on. And all of that, at the end of the day, leads to the same road as not having brotherhood. You understand? It all leads that way. You look at any relationship you ever had in your life, whether it was a lover relationship, whether it was a relationship with your father, your mother, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your co-worker, whatever. You look at it. Anyone that was sour out of that, there was some type of lack of brotherhood somewhere, whether it was on your part or their part. You understand what I'm saying? Just let's use your job as an example. Maybe somebody comes in and makes the coffee early in the morning, and they don't make it like everybody likes it. They're going to make it extra strong because they like it that way, and you just have to accept it. Or maybe somebody goes in the bathroom and in the bathroom too damn long, and you got to use the bathroom. They don't care if you got to use the bathroom. They're not trying to hurry up and use the bathroom. They're going to do what they got to do, and you just going to have to wait. What about living in New York City alone? You think people care about having episodes on the train and holding the whole train up, and you got to go somewhere? Nobody cares about that. You understand what I'm saying? You know why? Because there's a lack of brotherhood that floats around our communities. You understand? This is a lack of brotherhood and a lack of sisterhood as well. You understand? So this is something that in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge that we push and promote and live it. You understand? Now, when I talk about brotherhood, that doesn't mean you can't disagree with somebody. You can have a disagreement, but should it get to the point of some type of physical altercation or killing or slashing or doing something like that, or being vindictive or holding a grudge or something like that? No, it should never get to that point. Now, in here, we have disputes all the time. I don't really call them disputes. I call them debates. We're going to see who's going to win. And you know what the brother's going to do at the end of the day? You know what the brother's going to do in here and say, all right, fine, we're going to do it your way. And we'll see if it works. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it in here. You understand what I'm saying? That's all we're going. That's as far as it's going to get. It's fine. We're going to do it your way then. Because the brother's so adamant. And you know why? I love him enough to take the low road and do what he wants to do. Or maybe in some cases what she wants to do. You understand? And we'll see if it works. If it don't work, I can say, I told you so. But if it does work, he can say, I told you so. And we're going to drink about it, eat about it, still love each other, move on, go to war, make peace, raise babies. We're going to get wives. We're going to do all that all together. You understand? You know why? Because we practice brotherhood in here. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what we push and promote. You understand? A lot of people get, and there's nothing wrong with being a scholastic, you know what I'm saying, or being, very intelligent. Nothing wrong with that. But if your spirit is not right, all you are is a fancy Lamborghini without an engine. You understand? Go ahead. Nice and loud.
I'm saying that if you do have to dispute that, that's why we have the cookout.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No stabbing, no black Latino crying like 6 o'clock.
Right.
That's right.
Right, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Give the brother a hand. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why we throw these barbecues and these cookouts, whatever, for the community to come together. You know what I'm saying? For us to come together, sit down, eat, and break bread together, and laugh and talk and play spades and dominoes and bid whisk and crazy eights or whatever card game you play. You know what I'm saying? They're all of that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna sit and eat and love each other because that's brotherhood. But let me tell you something. If you lack courage, if you lack fortitude, you cannot be a brother.
Right.
You just can't be a brother. You understand what I'm saying? What do I mean by that? Harl, let me get the definition of fortitude real quick when you can. If you don't have fortitude in your life, then you can't be a brother. Let me give you an example. A son can't look at his father and not mimic the example of his father. What I mean by that is, if you have a father that may have been abusive to your mother, there's a chance that you'll be abusive to your woman because it looks normal to you. So you're influenced by what you see. You're influenced by the things you go through. You're influenced by the things you hear. If you hear your mother call your father, you ain't nothing but a bitch ass nigga anyway, you might get used to something like that. That's normal. And things in our community like that became normal. That's a normal thing. I'm supposed to take it. You know how she is. Well, girl, I know my eyes black, but girl, you know how he gets sometimes. Things like that. Children watch that. What I'm using it as an example of your actions are an influence to the people that watch you. You understand? Yeah, right. And if you're a real brother, you'll understand that, you know what? There's people that watch me, and maybe I should watch what I say and watch what I do and watch how I act. Maybe I should have some manners. Maybe I should be forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should do these things because my actions influence other people. And if you don't have that type of attitude, you're called a selfish bastard.
Damn right.
You understand? So let's just take one step today. We're going to talk about having fortitude today. You understand? So let's get that definition real quick whenever you brothers got it. You know what I'm saying? And let's read it nice and loud for them real quick.
Fortitude. Courage in pain.
Say it again.
Courage in pain.
You got to have courage when it comes to pain. You understand? We think going to the dentist getting a root canal is a small thing. It's not. There's some people that have phobias of needles. So if that you think this is going to cause me a lot of pain, but you know you got to do it, that's still considered some fortitude. That's still considered courage, even on a small level. You understand? But what if you got to forgive a brother and he caused you pain? Now, where's your courage at now? Can you forgive him? You understand? What if a brother's arguing with you? He spit on you. You might need some fortitude. You understand? You might need some of that. Some courage. You understand? You might need these things because this is essential to us becoming brothers, to raising a nation and encouraging God to send Yahushua back to destroy the stinking place that has destroyed us. You understand what I'm saying? I want to pull some scriptures real quick, all right? Because I don't want to yap too much because I can yap on for days. You want to say something? If I see it in you, you want to say something? Go ahead, come on with it. All right. Talk to me about it. What's going on? Hopefully I can give you an answer. Now, no sweat, brother. You know what I'm saying? If anybody out there online might have a question in regards to brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. If you got any questions regarding brotherhood, let me know. Today's the brotherhood class, and we're going to go over brotherhood, and we're going to talk about how we can fix the Most High, how we can fix the Most High's people. You understand? How we can fix our people. How we can start loving each other more and stop judging and hating and sizing each other up and thinking because you're bigger or smarter, you from here or from there, or so forth and so on, that you better than somebody, or you might think you're worse than somebody. You understand? We're going to fix that situation today, all right? So we're going to read some scripture. Give me Deuteronomy 31, and let's start at verse 6. You got it? Anybody can get it, all right? Good. Just stay right there. You're good. Stay right there.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 6. Be strong.
Say again.
Be strong.
And that's something that we need to learn how to do is be strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about Gold's Gym strong. I'm not talking about that. Anybody can do that. You understand what I'm talking? I'm talking about spiritually, mentally, inside, you have to be strong. You understand that?
Damn right.
Keep going.
And of a good courage.
And a good what?
Of a good courage.
You got to be of good courage. You got to show some strength when it comes to adversity and pain. You have to do it. Because if you do it, that means he'll do it. When you go to camp out there, people come against the camp, they want to battle the camp, you know, somebody got to step up and say something. So somebody can step up and say something. That's going to encourage the men to just show their fangs now. Now we're going to show our fangs now. Now it's on. You know why? Because you encourage other brothers by your courage. That's why it's called encourage.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Damn right.
You understand?
Con.
And being encouraging is something that is needed. I mean, it's needed more than penicillin or codeine when you have a arm surgery or something. I mean, it's more important than that. I mean, it's like breath, blood, courage. You know what I'm saying? Like you need it. And when I say courage, I'm not talking about acting like a wild man and going crazy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having discipline in the face of trouble and overcoming it by not being acting like an animal. People think, some brothers now think courage is, I'm gonna go grab my gun and I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna take my knife and I'm going to do. That's not courage. That's emotional anger. You understand? That's not courage. That's not that. You understand? But in tough times, read it again from the top.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Be strong and of a good courage.
Go ahead.
Fear not.
Say it again.
Fear not.
You shouldn't have no fear. You understand? Now, I don't want people to get mixed up with what fear and nervousness means. That's a difference. There's some people that get very nervous before they have to do a presentation in front of people because they're not public speakers. That's not a fear. They're just nervous. But they get up and do it. They might stutter. They might start sweating. They might anything, but they're doing it. That's courage. That's fortitude. Have no fear. Keep going.
Nor be afraid of them.
Say it again.
Nor be afraid of them.
Now, in this situation, this is Joshua talking, right? Where Joshua went to war. You understand? Excuse me. Moses was appointing Joshua to be in charge, and Joshua was going to go to war. And he was telling him, don't be afraid. You have to go to war. Who's the biggest person or the biggest problem with yourself personally? What's your biggest issue or your biggest problem? Who do you fear the most? Or who you can't beat the most? Who is that? It's the person you see in the mirror. You could punch everybody in the face and beat them up. You won't punch yourself in the face, though. You won't knock yourself out. You won't karate kick yourself. You know what I'm saying? You won't do that because it's hard to beat yourself. You understand what I'm saying? So in this situation, like, listen, go out there and fight and win and encourage brothers and sisters. You understand what I'm saying? And he went out and did it. But the words of wisdom to this man was, say it again from the top.
Nor be afraid of them.
No, from the top.
Kind out of one kind.
Verse 6.
Be strong and of a good courage.
Now, imagine you tell your son that. Imagine tell your son that the first day of school. Be strong and be of good courage. You understand? Go out there. Don't fear nobody. You go out there and you do it. Imagine telling your child that. Do you know what I put in the child's head? You understand? Do you know what I put in your child's head? I don't care if your child's in a wheelchair. Do you know what that build up in his mind? Somebody told Stevie Wonder he can do it. He blind as hell. And he's just sitting there, very superstitious. Oh, and he's doing it. Done it. Somebody encouraged that man. You understand what I'm saying? And then you might see a brother that's laying on the corner here in the streets, and we're going to judge him as you see rats crawling over his body. Somebody didn't encourage this man. Somebody didn't encourage him. Somebody didn't tell him or her that they can do it. Somebody didn't tell them that. Well, we're here to tell them that.
Right.
We're going to pick them up, wipe them off, and say, you can do it. You know that, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to do for our people. You know why? Because the scriptures say to do so. Keep reading.
Nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doeth go with thee.
He's with you. You have no reason to fear anything. You have no reason to have no courage. If you have no courage, you are a coward. And that's just that. And if you have fear, you have no faith. So if you roll with the Most High God, you have to be courageous. You have to be. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice but to be courageous. I'm not saying don't be nervous. I'm not saying don't think about it. What I'm saying is you better get through it, and you better do it. And you better do it with your chin up and your chest out about it.
That's right.
You understand? Because you're a man of God. And that means something. If you're a man of God. If you are. But
Damn
your
right.
courage will dispel who you are. Keep going.
He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
He's not going to never leave you. He's not going to never get rid of you or none of that. Therefore, if he's not going to do that to you, what can't you do? Since this is a brotherhood class, what can't you do? Then I can't. Go ahead.
I was going to answer the question.
Please
Salaki,
do.
Sir.
Nope.
What you can't do is also the same. You can't fail the Most High,
Right.
nor forsake him.
Or you can't fail. I know the Most High, but who's right in my face? I can't fail my brother.
Right.
So me being a coward, that's failing my brother.
Right.
I can't do that. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, when I say I'm not talking about myself personally, kind of, sort of. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But you can't do that. You understand? Go ahead.
You gotta build yourself up with courage so you can see yourself in the mirror.
Well, how do you build yourself up? That's good. That's good. How do you build yourself up? Go ahead.
The same way to you gotta start with encouraging yourself to how to be better.
Right.
towards the brother.
I-
That's the best way to start.
I can understand. I think the best way to not. Okay, let me word this right. The best way to better your brother is to serve God.
Right.
That's just the best way to do it. There's nothing we can do ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We don't. I know you think your alarm clock has power, but you don't even wake yourself up in the morning. You think you do though. You think, yo, I'm gonna get up at 4, have a nice stretch, and nah, the Lord wake you up.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The Lord wake you up. You ever been sleeping in here? You like, what's that? You know what I'm saying? You wake up and you think somebody knocked at your door or something. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knocked at your door or nothing like that. That's the Lord did that. You know what I'm saying? You don't wake yourself up. You have no power over the breath that comes out of your lungs.
That's right.
You have no power over the defecation that comes out of your rectum. You have no power over that. But we do it. The Lord so good to us, we think we do. You know what I'm saying? We think we do. We don't got no power. So we have to serve him. He's the one that gives us the courage. He's the one that does everything. But when we don't serve him, that's when that fear and all that, I'm scared and all that, that's when that kicks in. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to be a kamikaze for the Most High God.
That's right.
Because I know brothers that's kamikazes for men that give them drugs. They kamikazes. They go all out, you know what I'm saying, and do everything that this man say. With pride. They younger than him, doing more than him. But for the Most High God, we choose to be sissified a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He know my heart. You know what I'm saying? He know my heart. Going over yonder and all of that garbage. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got to be a kamikaze for the Most High God. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're not one, then your brother's not going to be one. You understand what I'm saying? Let's keep reading a little bit more.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel.
He said it in front of everybody in the nation. You understand what I'm saying? In other words, he said it to everybody in the neighborhood. He brought it to everybody. This is what I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Be strong.
Say again.
Be strong.
Why did Moses pull Joshua in front of everybody to tell him what he just said? Why did he do that? All right, I'll give you another example. Why would you take a man outside of a building and beat him in front of everybody on the block? Why would you do that? Oh, your hands is up now. Go ahead.
To set the example.
To set the example. To let you know that I'm not playing with you. You understand? And I want everybody to know that I don't play like that. So I'm asking you again. Why did Moses take Joshua out there to say, be strong? Why did he do that? Go ahead.
To set the example.
To set the example. You see how our minds are thinking? It was like this deep biblical thought for a second. Like maybe he was, but as soon as I gave that ghetto example, it was like, oh, I got that answer. You know what I'm saying? You see how our minds are set? You understand? Go ahead. You want to say something? Listen. Anyway, that's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I mean, like from what I remember, that it's the whole notion of like Christ died.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Christ died, and we read, I believe it's Matthew 5:17.
Okay.
When Christ died, and then he said the law are not done away with.
Mm-hmm.
When he died, it meant that we probably have to do the same. So the minimum, it's not enough to pay tithes, but we'll have to exceed the bar. That's what I think.
I mean, that's a pretty strong example. You understand what I'm saying? There's another example with Christ as well. You know what I'm saying? That we can get into. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna paraphrase it. Christ said that if they hated him, you know they're gonna hate you. Right. And the way he died, guess what? Prophets died the same way. He wasn't the only one that got crucified. You know, if I'm not mistaken, was it Peter or Paul that got crucified upside down? You understand? That means this is what's going to happen to you if you follow me. But you still got to do the work. And if you watch a man die and you're still willing to die behind them, then you need what?
Courage.
You need courage. You need courage. That's why Paul folded. Excuse me. That's why Peter folded. Excuse me. That's why Peter folded at the beginning. And then he doubled back and he got right. You understand? Because that's scary. Like he got killed like that. And he's telling me if I follow him, I got to do that. Well, if you don't do it, then you're a coward. But if you don't do it, then neither is your brother behind you going to do, because he's behind you. He's watching you. You understand what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. You know, we need fortitude out here. Christ had amazing fortitude. The greatest black man to walk on the face of the earth had the greatest fortitude.
That's right.
You understand? And he didn't even need to have it. He was an innocent man. So you watch an innocent man get killed like that, and you just as dirty as a pigsty. You just as dirty and nasty, and he's telling you, you got to follow me, and this will happen to you. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you need to be of good courage and be strong. And that means be strong in the dark. Be strong in the mirror when you look at yourself. Don't smoke it. Don't snort it. Don't sell it. Nope. She got a husband. Don't have sex with her. No, don't take that. Don't. You got to have courage. You understand what I'm saying? This is not courage, Braveheart courage. You're gonna run into the fire or jump in front of a car. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you need that courage in the dark. You need that strength. You understand? And the reason why you need it is because there's somebody else that needs it and they don't have it. You understand what I'm saying? Let's keep reading more.
Con out of one con. Be strong and of a good courage. For thou must go with this people.
Say it again. Go with
For
who?
thou must go with this people.
No, he's gonna go by himself.
With this people.
Go ahead.
Unto the land which the Lord hath sworn unto their fathers,
right,
to give them.
So he's going with the people. So he's saying, be strong and be of good courage, because you have to go with these people. So he could have told them that privately. No, he told that in front of everybody. No, be strong because you got to go with these people. So that means you have to lead these people. And you can't lead being a coward. You can't lead being scary. You can't lead doubting yourself. You have to lead with extreme courage and fortitude. You have to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody who's a parent here, know you got to lead with courage. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? You got to be courageous. You got to know that. Let my child come in here and say something that's out of the ordinary. You're going to have courage to take care of that business. You understand? That's the same courage you have to have when you're dealing with your people.
That's right.
That you're dealing with your child. You know why? Because that's the courage that Christ had as well, just like you brought up. You understand? Let's keep going on a little bit. Y'all got anything you want to say or add in? Anything? No? Let's go to the book of Joshua real quick. Joshua chapter 10 and verse 24, please. Go ahead, brother.
I know you mentioned Paul. Can you give an example of Paul with that same fortitude?
This is okay. I'm gonna give you my.
Since he followed Christ told him.
I'm gonna tell you what I think is what I perceive as a sign of his fortitude. Paul was going around beating the hell out of people that believed in Christ. He had a hand. He was an accessory to the murder. What, Seth? Was it Seth? He was an accessory to the murder of Seth. When he held the coats of the men as they stoned him and beat that man, because he called them what? He called them like vipers or something. He called them some name. You know what I'm saying? And they stoned that man to death. He was going around, had a cavalry of men going around beating the brakes over anybody that believed in Christ. You understand what I'm saying? So much that one got killed. And then one day, when he got blind on his way to wherever he was going, you understand? He woke up and understood that what he was doing was wrong. And he wasn't going to do it no more. So he decided to put that old life away and to take on a new life and push forward so much that he has the most books in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? He has the most books in the Bible. A man that used to kill people that believed in Christ. You understand? That takes a lot of courage to say, nah, I'm messing with your brothers. No, I'm not doing that no more. I'm going this way. You're going all the way to the left. And they don't like that because they was rolling with you at one point in time, but you had to cut it off. And you had to keep on going and keep pushing. Same way brothers did in the truth. You understand what I'm saying? So that's his fortitude, in my opinion. That's one example. Maybe there's other ones. Anybody can think of any, please let us know. You understand? But that's one of my examples, you understand, of him having fortitude and courage. You know what I'm saying? In the face of pain or adversity. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So let's get into this real quick. All right. Joshua 10 and 24.
The book of Joshua, chapter 10 and verse 24. And it came to pass when they brought out those kings unto Joshua.
Now I'm gonna say this. This is one verse that we used to read at camp, and we would kind of, live this scripture out. All right. So we're gonna read this scripture. To me, it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But let's read this scripture out real quick. All right. Come on with it.
That Joshua called for all the men of Israel. And said unto the captains.
Hold on. He called all the men of Israel. All my niggas, come here for a second. Come here. I want to show y'all. So I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see this real quick. You know what I'm saying? Go get them big time kings up there. Go get them. You know what I'm saying? Bring them down here in front of us. Bring them down here. These kings is not Israel. These kings are some disgusting, filthy, nasty heathens that they had to go to war with. You can start from verse 21 and read down if you would like. You know what I'm saying? But just to give you a backdrop on it, these filthy, disgusting, nasty kings was destroying us the same way now, the same way the Asians is doing us, the same way the Arabs is doing us, the same way the Edomites is doing us, the same way all of them is doing us. Ukraine has apartments. We don't. You understand what I'm saying? The Africans, they're doing good. We're not. So bring their kings over here to us. They're big dogs. They're big wigs. I want the chief to come up, bring them down here in front of us. Bring them down in front of these children of the ghetto. Bring them down here. And let's see what we're going to do. Let's read it again, please.
And it came to pass when they brought out those kings unto Joshua.
Yeah, bring them here. Come on. Mm-hmm.
That Joshua called for all the men of Israel.
All my niggas come in. I want you to see this. Go ahead.
And said unto the captains,
all the top doors. Come in. I want you to stand in front. Stand right here in Wrinkle. I want you to see this. Go ahead.
Of the men of war.
The men of what?
The men of war.
Oh, yeah. They don't know that this is about war. The whole Bible is about war.
Damn right.
You understand? So all my men that I go to camp with, come here. I want you to see this. Right. Come here, Captain Smallwell. You first. Come here. I want you to watch this one right here. I want you to watch this. Come here. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Which went with him. Come near. Put your feet.
Take what?
Your feet upon the necks of these kings.
Bow down on your knees and put your neck down, and I'm gonna put my boot right on top of it. And if I want to press down on it, I just might. I mean, they did it to George Floyd, didn't they? You know what I'm saying? So maybe I can come put your foot on this sign right here, and I'll put my foot on your neck. There might be some old videos out there.
There is.
Might be some old videos out there. You know, this got banned. You know what I'm saying? But if they get boot kisses, I got something better. Come here, put your neck on that sign right there. Come here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and we do it in front of everybody.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? But in order to win this war, for him to have them kings come down, as we read before in the previous verses, Joshua had to have what?
Courage.
He had to have courage to win that war. To be able to take his foot and put on the neck of his enemies, he had to have courage. You hear me?
Another one.
Keep going.
And they came near and put their feet upon the necks of them.
That's what we did. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes courage to get to that point. Now, please, I'm not telling anybody to put their foot on nobody's neck. I'm not saying that. I'm just reading the scripture in the Bible that, you know, might come to pass one day. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. It might come to pass one day. I'm just saying. In order to win the war, in order to have them people that done you wrong try to shake you out of housing, you can't get the right apartment. They come, kick you all out, raise the rent to $3,000 for a studio. Now you can't get it. Now you got to go to the shelter. Now you got to live with your mother. Now you got to sleep on your brother's couch. He wants you to get out because he's getting high anyway, and he think you're sleeping with his wife. And your sister, she thinks your feet stink, so you snore too much. So now you got to get. I mean, it's hell. One day, we will win. One day, but in order to win, you have to have courage. You have to have fortitude. It's not going to drop out the sky. Living life is not a scratch off. Right. This is not the Powerball. This is not the Mega Millions. You're not going to get lucky. You got to earn this. And you can only earn it with being courageous, with having fortitude and strength. That's the only way to do it. You understand? And you have to do it, because if you don't do it, the domino effect won't continue. It'll be horrible. You understand what I'm saying? Let's read some more.
Verse 25. And Joshua said unto them,
as he had his foot on their neck, he's going to talk to his people now. Go ahead.
Fear not.
Do what?
Fear not.
Go ahead.
Nor be dismayed. Be strong. And of good courage.
There you go. Be strong and of good courage. He's saying this as the foot is on the neck. As these men of prestige that we looked at so much, now they're bowing down to the children of the ghetto. And the worst child in that project building has his foot on this Donald Trump's neck. And he's saying, be of good courage. Fear not. You understand? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that snotty-nosed nappy-head kid from the projects who grew up to be a strong man? Now he got his foot on Donald Trump's neck, and he's telling everybody, be strong. Look at him. Be strong. Be of good courage. Do you know what's going to do to a child that see that? Can you understand that? See, this is the life we live. I'm talking the Israelite School of UPK. This is the life we live. We're going to put the foot on anybody that's big time's neck, You understand what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen in here. Keep going.
For thus shall the Lord do to all your enemies against whom ye fight.
Let's see who we sing with,
Who ye fight.
who we kiss,
Ye fight.
who we love.
Ye fight.
You got to fight. And in order to fight, you have to have courage. You have to have fortitude. I never seen somebody who's scared and fearful fight. They run, they beg, they'll curl up in the fetal position and all that. That's scary. But I seen somebody who couldn't fight and still fought anyway. That's courage. He might have lost, but they won't fight him again. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna leave that man alone or that woman alone. You understand? Let's move forward, all right?
Con out of one con.
All right, let's go to the book of Psalms real quick. Book of Psalms, chapter 31, real quick, all right? Psalms 31. Let me get with you. And verse 24, Salaka. Let me just get with you real quick. Go ahead, you can kick it off. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 31 and verse 24.
Yep.
Be of good courage.
Damn. Is that in the Bible again? I want to show me in the Bible where it says to be weak. Be moist, tender, or something. I mean, damn, this book sounds kind of hardcore to me. All I've been hearing about is go to war and be of good courage and have no fear and fight. And that's all I keep hearing about. You know what I'm saying? That's all I keep hearing about. Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody, just tell me if I'm wrong. If you're not hearing what I'm hearing. Read it again, please.
The book of Psalms, chapter 31 and verse 24. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart.
Now, I'm going to break this down, all right? Matter of fact, read the whole thing, Baba Gusha.
All ye that hope in the Lord.
Now, what does your heart symbolize in the Bible?
Your mind, Dr. One.
Your mind. So, let's read it again.
Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart.
Now, so be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your mind. To be of good courage is good for your mental health. It's better than Thorazine. It's better than whatever they give you. Being of good courage is good for your mental health. It's here. You understand what I'm saying? It's good for your mental health. That's what being of good courage is. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it does for your brain. You understand? You think it don't. But you ever have some doubts about something, you get through it, it makes you feel like, whoo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did that. Now, you feel good now. You don't need no more authority. You don't need nothing. No more. You good. I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got through it. You know why you got through it? Because you were courageous. You have fortitude. And now you can sit back and just be like, yeah, I got through that. You know what I'm saying? Now you turn into a goddamn, you was a maniac before. Now you're a damn genius because you got through it. Because it took courage and fortitude for you get to that point in your mind. You understand that?
Damn right.
I just wanted to bring that scripture out real quick. I got some more. Let's go to 2 Maccabees. We're probably going to take the class home with this one. Maybe. No, you know what? Before I go there, let's go to 1 Corinthians. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. All right. I should have brought my glasses, but I didn't. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Oh, boy. Hold on. 15. Okay. Verse 58. That's what it was. I didn't make it down. Okay. So 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58.
Therefore, my beloved brethren.
Tell them where you at.
Oh, the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 58.
There we go.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable.
Say it again.
Unmovable.
You got to be unmovable. You understand? Like a goddamn statue or a rock.
That's right.
Or the mountain of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Give him a hand, God damn it. That's
right.
why.
Damn right.
You understand? You got to be unmovable. You understand? Keep going.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Let's look up the word abounding, please. Let's find the definition of the word abounding, just for anybody may not know. All right. As the scripture just said, you know what I'm saying? You got to be steadfast is another word we're going to look up as well. But right now, on abounding, and you got to be unmovable. You understand? Unmovable, which means you have to have absolute courage, absolute fortitude. Do you think if a lion wants his prey that he's going to be unmovable? You think that the deer can say, whoa, let's talk this out? No, there's no way. I'm gonna get you. He's unmovable. He's not changing his mind. You understand? I'm not saying if you want to go out there and kill somebody, like, he was right. I'm not gonna be unmovable on this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in righteousness. All right. I'm talking about in righteousness. You understand? Let's see what abounding means.
The definition of abounding. Very plentiful, abundant.
Now, be very plentiful and abundant when it comes to doing the work of the Lord. That means do as much as you can, but it's for the work of the Lord. So give it your all, but you can't give it your all if you don't got no courage. You understand what I'm saying? You got to give it your all. You know what I'm saying? We got there. We go to camp. We saw in that corner. You know how many people hate our guts? They hate our guts, and we love them. I mean, damn, if that's not an abusive relationship, I don't know what is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn, that's an abusive relationship. I love you, but you want to throw batteries and spit at me and throw juice bottles at me and all of that. You want to do all of that to me, and I love you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? But you have to have courage to go right back out there and do it again.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? You got to have that. It's not for sissies. You understand? It's not for sissies. You understand? And when we come back from camp, guess what? You know what we're gonna do? Sit here and debate and tell who's better than what and who's gonna win the fight tonight. We're gonna talk about all of that, and we ain't gonna agree. But I know what? I love you, and I'll see you at camp, and we're gonna go ahead again. You know what I'm saying? And do it all over again until Christ return. You know why? Because we work abundantly for the Most High God. What's the word? Abounding?
Abounding.
There we go. Now let's stop from the top again and let's read what steadfast means real quick.
All
right, real quick. I want to get the definition of steadfast. Just for the watching crowd. So if you're watching the crowd, put a 1 in the chat. If you if you're liking the class, put a 2 in the chat if you're not. But either way, like it and share it. All right. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. All right. So let's get the definition of steadfast, please.
Okay. The definition of steadfast, resolutely or dutiful, firm and unwavering.
There you go. You got to be firm and unwavering. So I think steadfast and unmovable pretty much is similar, right? Let's read the scripture from the top, please.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Never move. Never move. Stay courageous. Keep your fortitude and do a lot of it. That's what the scripture just said, right? Keep going.
For as much as ye know that your labor,
your what?
Your labor.
Go ahead.
Is not in vain.
You be courageous for the Most High God. You keep your fortitude. It's not going to go in vain. You might think it don't mean nothing because that's Satan getting to you. You think it don't mean nothing. No, it means something. According to the scriptures, if you believe the scriptures, I do. Wholeheartedly. So if you stay courageous, you keep your fortitude, and you give the Lord all you got, you may not have a penny in your pocket, but guess what? Your life is not going in vain. Your work, your labor is not going in vain. It means something. You understand? As I said, we go to that camp, our work, it might not mean nothing to nobody else, but it's not in vain because God sees it. You understand that? You understand? And let's keep going. No, excuse me. Drop that. Go to 2 Maccabees chapter 7 real quick. We're going to take the class out on that, all right? I'm going to go through this. I'm going to read this whole thing. You got a apocrypha?
Concept.
Okay, no sweat. Let's get the 2 Maccabees chapter 7. Go ahead and come on with it.
What verse, Ottawa?
The whole thing. Chapter 1, verse 1.
Con out of one con. The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7 and verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law.
Now, these are 7 brothers and a mother. Are y'all familiar with the story? I know some of y'all are. I know you're familiar with it. Y'all familiar with this, right? No sweat. We're gonna go over it again. Go ahead.
Compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh. And were tormented with scourges and whips.
Now, this is a story of 7 brothers and their mother who was kidnapped by this disgusting, filthy heathen king. And this king wanted to prove to them that he's better than their God because they served the Most High God. So he wanted to show them that I'm better than your God. Eat this pork because he knows it's against the laws of God to eat that pork. So if they eat that pork, then that's going to prove to the king that I'm greater than their God. You understand that? But they decided they was not going to eat the pork and they were going to get tortured and tormented. Let's keep reading.
Con out of one con. Verse 2.
Come on with it.
But one of them that spake first said...
He spoke what?
But one of them that spake first.
He spoke first. The first one spoke. What did he say?
Said thus. What wouldest thou ask or learn of us?
Yeah, what do you want from us? Right? What do you want from me and my family? What do you want from us? What did he say after that?
We are ready to die.
Say it again.
We are ready to die.
What the first one say?
We are ready to die.
Go ahead.
Rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
The first one stepped up and said, what do you want from us? Because we're ready to die. In order to step up in front of a powerful king, you know, the ones that we're going to have our foot on their neck in the future. To say to this powerful king, listen, I don't know what you want from me because I'm ready to die. Excuse me, we ready to die. You understand that? He said, we ready to die. That's what he said. Now, this is what the first one said. You understand? Let's keep reading that.
Verse 3. Then the king, being in a rage.
He was mad that this first person stepped up. This first one stepped up and said this. You going to say that to me? Or you ready to die? Let's see.
Commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot.
So he made big pots and pans hot. Boiling water, you know, frying pans, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what he's going to do with that. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue.
He cut this man's tongue out for saying, we are ready to die. He cut his tongue out. Do you know how much courage it took to say that in the face of pain and adversity? It took courage to say, what do you want from me? Because I'm ready to die. A brother go to work and they say, cut your beard off. They're going to say, okay. Because they're scared to lose their job. This person knew they would lose their life. And he said, what do you want from me or want from us? We are ready to die. So they made an example out of him. You understand? And cut his tongue out. Go ahead.
That spake first. And to cut out the utmost parts.
What's the utmost parts? Let me ask you a question. What's a man's utmost part? Go ahead.
His rod.
Yeah. What you think? It's your tip of your pinky? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's your rod. He cut the utmost parts of this man off. This is in the scriptures. He cut the utmost parts of this man off. How else would you degrade a man? You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and cut the utmost parts of this man off. You understand? Go ahead.
The rest of his brethren and his mother looking on.
Now everybody watched, and they saw that he was getting tortured and killed. And they know what they saw. But more importantly, they know what he said. He said that we ready to die. And I'm not doing what you want me to do. So I'm gonna die. Let's see what brotherhood looks like real quick. Keep going.
Verse 5. Now, when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive,
Still alive. Go ahead.
to be brought to the fire,
After he cut all his body parts off, he still brought him to the pans. Go ahead.
and to be fried in the pan.
I want you to read like you at camp. Not too loud, but thorough.
Con out of one con. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus.
Now, the other brothers saw this, and they already thought in their mind, you know what? We're going to die manfully. We're going to die like our brother just died. We're going to represent for him because he stepped up first. And he said, we're not going to do what you want us to do. We're going to die. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? And another brother saw that and said, you know what? We're going to do the same thing for our brother. But it took him to start that domino effect. Now, if he would have said, yes, my king, I'll eat it. You understand what I'm saying? And then guess what the other brother going to do? Well, I guess we should eat it too then. Big bro did it. You know what I'm saying? That's what, you know what I'm saying? Big bro did it. So I'm going to do it too. But nah, his brother said, I'm going to die. I'm going to die in front of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and die. This is such a long story. I would prefer that you guys all read it on your own at some point in time, but I'm going to go as far as I can according to the time. Partizan? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's all through the scriptures. Courage is all through the scriptures. Cowards get killed. You ever heard of killed? You understand? Let's keep reading.
Verse 6. The Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants.
Now, the reason why they were so comfortable with dying, not just because their brother said that first, but because they knew that the Most High God was with them. You know what I'm saying? They heard these words spoken from Moses before, that things like this would take place. You understand what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Verse 7. So when the first was dead after this number.
Now, after the first was dead, now he's dead. Big bro's gone. Right? But he died with courage and extreme fortitude. Go ahead.
They brought the second to make him a mocking stock.
Now, let's see if the second one's a coward. Let's see if he's scary. You understand? Let's see what he is. Go ahead.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head.
Whoa, what they do?
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head.
Oh, so they scalped him. They took something and carved the top of his head and peeled it back. Do you imagine how much pain that must be to get scalped? So they scalped him. You understand? Maybe hoping he'll beg for his life, but he didn't. He took the pain. He took the pain. He was courageous and full of fortitude. You know why? Because his brother set the precedent. His brother said it. His brother set the bar that he had to be like his brother, because his brother wasn't a coward. Keep going.
They asked him, wilt thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
Well, go ahead.
But he answered in his own language and said, no.
Now, what does that mean to answer in your own language? These were some Hebrew. So what did he say?
La'ah.
He said la'ah, which is no in Hebrew, that I'm sure we all know. He said la'ah. After his head is scalped halfway off, he still said, no, I will not do that. You understand what I'm saying? I will not do it. I mean, this is the type of courage we need now. But on the righteous side, You know, gangbangers live this kind of life. You understand what I'm saying? They live that, oh, you killed my brother, I'm gonna kill, I'm but where's the righteous people that live like this? That where a person sets a precedent and you follow that. You understand? And here we call him Commander General Yohana. That's what we call him. That he set the precedents. And what he does and how he moved on is the same courage we must have. He went to camps out there, we got to do it. He counseled brothers, we got to do it. He forgives, we got to do it. Because he set the example. No, he's not God. But he's big bro. He speaks first. You understand? This is how that goes in here. Because we read the scriptures. And we live the scriptures. And we encourage brothers and sisters to do the same. You understand what I'm saying? Keep going.
Wherefore, he also received the next torment in order,
Good
as
night.
the former did.
Now, his utmost limits got cut off too. Everything the same thing that happened to the brother happened to him too. Did the same thing again. Let's move on. Let's see what else happens. Go ahead.
Verse 9. And when he had Salakia, and when he was at the last gasp, he said, "Thou, like a fury, takest us out of this present life."
You're gonna take us out of this present life. Go ahead.
But the King of the world shall raise us up.
What does that mean? That means you go ahead. I'm gonna die now, but I'll be back, according to the King of the world, the Most High God. I'll be back. You understand? That takes courage to even say that. You have to have courage to even think like that. That what's going on here in this world, I can't fear it. I know I'll be back, so I got to be courageous now. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a man of God, not just a man, but a man of God. You have to be that way. You understand? Let's keep going.
Who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 10. After him was the third made a mocking stock. And when he was required, he put out his tongue. And
can you imagine that? When the third one came up, he already knew what was going to happen. Like, don't even question me. He already came with his tongue already out. So go ahead and cut it off. I know that's what you're going to do anyway. So go ahead and cut it off. He already came with his tongue out. And what else he come out? What else he had? Come on with it. Keep going.
And that right soon, holding forth his hands manfully.
So he came out with his hands and his tongue out and said, go ahead and take them. Go ahead and do it, because I'm not going to do what you're telling me to do. I'm not going to do it. This is same courage that we need against these filthy, disgusting oppressors, because they're the ones that try to get us to smoke cigarettes, which we know is against God. They're the ones that try to get us to accept homosexuality and lesbianism. That's against God. You understand? They try to do it to get us to do this. They try to get us to go and vote. That's against God. But everything that they try to do for us is against God. You know why? Because they want to prove that they are stronger than our God. And it takes courage to fight against that.
That's right.
That's why we always go to war with these other nations. Right. This is why we always go to war. You understand? Give the little hand for World War III.
Damn right.
That's right. That's it. Maybe, not even maybe, they're going to destroy themselves, because being a righteous people of the Most High God and the chosen people of God, we don't have to lift the finger, because we have a God that fights for us.
That's right.
So we don't have to lift the finger up. We don't have to do a damn thing. All we got to do is serve God. You know that old James Brown song, Papa Don't Take No Mess? Well, Papa don't take no mess. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. We don't got to do much. All we got to do is serve God. It might be painful. It might hurt. But you have to have courage to get through it. You understand? You have to have courage to get through it. You have to have fortitude to get through it. Your tongue might get cut off. Your hands might get cut off. Your rod might get cut off. You understand? It might. Who knows? You understand what I'm saying? It might happen in front of everybody, everything. But who cares? At least you went out being courageous. having fortitude, and serving God. That's what life is about. It ain't about loving hip hop in Miami and cartoons and candy and kisses and all that. It ain't about none of that. It's about going to war for the Most High God every single day. Every day. And live and die for your brothers like they did right here. You understand that? Keep reading.
Verse 11.
Come on with it.
And said courageously.
Wait, said it how?
Courageously.
No, he said it's soft.
Courageously.
Weak.
Courageously.
Pussified.
Courageously.
Go ahead.
These I had from heaven.
I got this from heaven. Everything I got from heaven. As we spoke for, you don't wake yourself up. This right here I'm doing, I'm not even doing that. God's doing that. I can't do that. He could stop it right now. I can cramp up like this. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? everything is from the Most High God. You understand? Read it again from the top.
Verse 11.
Uh-huh.
And said courageously.
Uh-huh.
These I had from heaven.
I got this from heaven. I got this from the Most High God. Everything I got came from the Most High God. You understand? Go ahead.
And for his laws, I despise them.
Yeah, and for his laws, I despise them. You understand? Now, this is not a law class. This is a class about brotherhood, being courageous. As he said courageously. He said it strong, with fortitude. He meant it. He was unmovable. He was steadfast. That's what this is about. You understand what I'm saying? That's what this part is about right here. That he was a lion, and he had his eyes set on his prey, and there's no stopping him. Only way to stop a lion from getting his prey is to kill him. That's the only way. And this is how they going out. They gonna die. You understand? Let's keep reading a little bit more.
And from him I hope to receive them again.
Maybe I'll come back again. Who knows? But I know one, I'm going to continue to be courageous until I'm done. Keep going.
Verse 12. Insomuch that the king and they that were with him marveled at the young man's courage.
Do you see that? The same king that kidnapped them, killed a couple of their brothers already, scalped one, cut the parts off of another one, put them in frying pans, boiled them, did everything else to them. He was marveled at their courageousness. He was marveled at. He just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm killing you. Now you look at it today. They gotta sit back and say, damn, I put heroin all in your neighborhood. You know, you outside in the park and saw all types of red tops and blue tops and everything else all in your park. Fiends and stuff all in your hallway. Following out around. Mother's down. Sisters playing around. Brother can't be found. All types of things going on. And you still courageous out here? Ain't nothing better than black and Hispanic people. I'm sorry, man.
That's right.
ain't nothing better. There's nothing better, nothing stronger. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? They marvel. They marvel. You think you don't got nothing. You think you ain't nothing. But they marvel at your courage. They're scared of it. They're scared of it. They're amazed on that. Damn, I'm trying my best to destroy you. I'm trying my best to get you to do what I want you to do, and you just won't do it. Damn. You think a roach is hard to kill? No, these niggas is hard to kill. You understand what I'm saying? These niggas is hard to kill. I can't get them. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Be courageous in all situations. It's not about what you got. It's not about none of that. Not about where you live. It's not about where you're from, what your name is, how tall you are, how short you are, how skilled you are, how unskilled you are, how good you can read, how good you can't read. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. None of that matters. Serving God matters. Being courageous for God matters. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you can do, try your best to do it better. Take one step at a time. That's it. Just be a paraplegic that's just trying to walk. That's all. Keep on going until you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Until you get them big braces on and got you on that treadmill and you trying. But keep going. That's all. Keep going. You might get it, you might not. But at least you was courageous enough to try. You understand what I'm saying? But don't soak in your sorrows. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit there and just soak and mope and you're mad. Nah, you got to be courageous. Don't forget, it's good for your mental health. Ain't there a lot of people running here with mental problems? Being courageous is good for your mental health. You understand what I'm saying? Be courageous, just like these people was. Our ancestors were. These are not strangers. This is our great grandfather's great grandfather. You know what I'm saying? This is family here that we're reading about here. We're reading, this is a family book we're reading here. So it's in our blood to do it. It's in our blood to be it. So why can't we be it? Because we got too many kings that's distracting us with so many different things. And we're taking the bait, and us taking that bait is diminishing our courage. It's diminishing our fortitude. You understand what I'm saying? All in all, it's diminishing our brotherhood. You understand? Let's keep rolling. I'm sorry, I'm boring you back there. Don't worry, class is almost over. It's almost over. It's all good, brother. It's all good. Come on with it. I'm good with it. Come on with it.
For that he nothing regarded the pains.
Say what?
For that he nothing regarded the pains.
When you got courage, you got fortitude, you got these things going on, you serving the Most High God, you don't care about no pain. What does that mean? I mean, damn, before you started serving God, you ain't feel no pain before? You ain't hurt before, cry before? You wasn't depressed no time before? Now all of a sudden you're going to give your life to the Most High God. Now all of a sudden you're concerned about pain. Nah, courage and fortitude, you can't be concerned about no goddamn pain. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be a soldier. You understand? You got to be an absolute soldier for the Most High God to take courage and fortitude to be a soldier. You could drop that. Y'all can read that story later on your own, all right? One of the time. You could drop that. I'm going to go to 2 Timothy, I think it is. I think it's 2 Timothy. The 2 Timothy chapter 3. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Let me see real quick. Y'all got any questions or statements or anything you want to say? Anything? No? All right. Well, hold on. We're kind of at the tail end of the class here. Let's see. We're going to get through this. This is 2 Timothy. Let me see. That might be 1 Timothy. Hold on a second. All right. So we're going to go to 2 Timothy chapter 2. And let's start at verse 3.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier.
A good what?
As a good soldier.
We just read before how courageous you had to be. You understand? You got to be a soldier for Christ. You got to be an absolute soldier for Christ. And in order to be a soldier, you know you got to go to war. In order to go to war, you know you got to be courageous and have fortitude. You can't be a coward and go to war. It just don't add up. It doesn't add up. That's like saying you're going to jump in the ocean and you can't swim. You understand what I'm saying? It just don't add up. Read it again, please.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Come on with it.
Thou therefore endure hardness.
Endure what?
Hardness.
You got to endure tough times. You got to endure being down, being in the dark. You understand? Not having what you want, not eating what you want. You understand? Not even being able to think what you want. You have to endure hardness sometimes. Go ahead.
As a good soldier.
Go ahead.
Of Yahushua Mashiach.
You got to be a good soldier. You know what I'm saying? As the scripture said, for Jesus Christ. But my brother said in Hebrew. Say it again in Hebrew.
Yahushua Mashiach.
You understand? You got to be a good soldier for Jesus Christ for those who may not know out there that's listening. You understand? You got to be a good soldier, not a cheerleader, not a choir member. You understand? Not an usher. You know what I'm saying? Not you're gonna be a good I'm gonna be the best deacon for the most. I'm not all of that. I'm not talking about that trash. It said be a good soldier. You understand? When we read before, when we put our foot in the next, he said, all my captains come here. You understand? I didn't hear all the preachers. Come on. Oh, hold on. Get the choir man. Come on. Oh, he said my captains. A captain is in the military, if I'm not mistaken. He's in at least some type of military structure. You understand? You understand? Keep going.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
No man that warreth.
No man that what?
That warreth.
Here we go again. Talking about war. I mean, here we go. I mean, somebody show me something else besides war in here. I mean, show me something else. Is there a pool party or something? I mean, something. Is there anything else exciting in here? show me something. Go ahead. Ain't no babies being dunked or nothing. Go ahead. Yeah, ain't nothing going on. They ain't playing no volleyball. I mean, nothing. All I hear about is war. You know what I'm saying? And I love it.
That's right.
Because that's what life is all about. But in order to go to war, you got to have courage and fortitude. I can't say it enough. I got to brand it in your brain. You understand? Read it again from the top, please.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 4.
Come on with it.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Any man that goes to war, you don't get caught up in the affairs of life. You understand? Somebody goes, yo, man, LeBron James better than Michael Jordan. I don't give a damn. I don't care your favorite rapper. I don't care. You think that Chubb Rock is your favorite rapper? Fine. You know what I'm saying? Good. I don't care. I don't listen. There's things you don't entangle yourself with. You know what I'm saying? I don't entangle myself with marijuana. I don't entangle myself with cocaine. I don't entangle myself with prostitutes. I don't entangle myself with any of that because I became a man of war. That's what I became, a man of war. So I don't get involved with that stuff. You understand that? Keep going, please.
That he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Who chose you to be a soldier? Because you didn't wake up and say you're going to be a soldier. That don't happen like that. I don't care how militant you thought you was. You know what I'm saying? Who chose you to be a soldier? Who chose you to be a soldier? Anybody. Somebody. Go ahead, Mpatazak. No, who chose you to be a soldier? Who chose Christ to be a soldier? The Most High chose you to be a soldier. He wants you to be a soldier for Christ. Christ is in charge. But the Most High chose you to be a soldier. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if we chose you to be a soldier, is that more on that?
La.
No, you got to please him. How do you please him? Be a man of war. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be a man of war. In order to be a man of war, you have to have courage and fortitude. And when I say war, I'm not talking about going there and busting your gun and going crazy. What I'm talking about is fight your flesh, fight against who you are and what you want to do, and do what's right and do what you got to do. You understand that? That's what you have to do in this lifestyle. It's very difficult to do. You understand what I'm saying? It's very difficult to do, but it can be done. You understand what I'm saying? It can be done. And guess what? It will be done one way or another. Either you're going to do it the easy way or you're going to do it the hard way. The either way it's going to be done. You understand? Make sure that we continue to live our lives as straight soldiers. Keep that courage. Keep that fortitude, because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always looking. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody's always watching, always looking. They're taking notes on your life. You understand what I'm saying? As we have camp sometimes, there's little boys that walk past and they just mesmerize at the camp. They're just looking at the camp, and the mother's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? But he's looking like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like he saw a superhero. You understand what I'm saying? But we're not superheroes. We're just soldiers for the Most High God.
That's right.
Soldiers of Christ. And all he saw, he's gazing at courage, and he's gazing at fortitude and strength. And guess what? I hope that what we have seeps into his soul and seeps into his spirit and seeps into his heart. You understand what I'm saying? When I say his heart, I mean seeps into his mind. I hope we can be the mental strength that he needs in his life. Hopefully he won't forget us. You understand what I'm saying? Look, y'all stay strong out there. I'm in the class on that note. I'm preaching officer 5000 Shalai Yala. I represent the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And in here we practice extreme courage, extreme fortitude, and extreme brotherhood and sisterhood. And we will always do that until Christ returns. With that, I say shalom.
The house of Israel. If you're not part of the house of Israel, Christ did not come for you. Christ did not come for no one except for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. If you're not part of the And you know why you worship something you have no understanding about? It's because us, as the house of Israel, we know what we worship. And we've been trying to get black men and women to know what to worship.